Hey everyone, it's Tom with Fresh Vintage. Today I want to talk to you about your headlights because they probably look like this, and frankly they look like crap. This oxidation is preventing the light from the bulbs themselves to get out to the road, so these are dangerous, to be frank. If you have the time and money, you want to replace these headlight assemblies like we did on this 98 Accord, and we also did it on the 2003 Honda Pilot, which is where those old headlight assemblies are from. These have been in the car for about 8 months now, and you can see they look just as new as the day we installed them. But what if you don't have the money to replace headlight assemblies or the time, but you do have bug spray, you do have toothpaste, and you do have WD-40, and you've heard that through the magic of one of these three, you can actually fix your headlights like that and they're good as new. We're going to do that right now. We're going to see how well this works and how long it actually lasts. And as a control, we went to Advanced Auto Parts and got a Maguires Headlight Restoration Kit. You can get these at any Advanced Auto Parts. But let's go ahead and let's get started. To get started, we're going to use the toothpaste and a little prep information. We have each headlight marked. So this says toothpaste, bug spray, Maguires, and WD-40. And with this, once we apply all this stuff, we're actually going to put it on the top of Jay's carport here and let it bake in the sun for a month. So let's get started with brushing the headlights teeth. And I honestly have no idea how much to use or not use, so we'll see how this goes. And what I'm doing right now, you probably speed this up, but I'm trying to show, like, do you need heavier or less as we go down the, so we'll see what happens here. So checking in here, I'm using a circular motion here, and you can see I generally have a lot more toothpaste here, and I'm working down to less toothpaste, so we're not sure if this will even work, but we want to go ahead and just see if more toothpaste makes a difference or less toothpaste. And then also I've been using a circular motion there, so now I'm just gonna do this. I think I've done each one like 3 times, but we'll finish this up here. There we go. Ah, Jay, we forgot the floss. Okay, so we have that. Let's try some bug spray. We have Deep Woods for maximum protection against bugs and Headlight Restoration. So I'm going to start by spraying it on the rag. And just going to I have about a medium pressure. Okay, this one I'm just gonna see how that goes. That's definitely more pressure. Okay, there's that, and we'll get a clean part of the rag here for the WD-40. A little bit in here. There we go. And this one, I'm going to try not to make that big of a mess. All right, we have our WD-40 applied, we have our bug spray applied, and we have our toothpaste applied. We're probably going to have to get like a dry rag just to get this off. But the one thing we have to finish is the Maguires kit here. And like we were saying, we got this kit from Advanced Auto Parts. There's actually light, moderate, and severe So if, I mean, honestly, if you're gonna do this, if your headlights look like this, you just need to go right to severe. But you can find a link in the description for this video. And inside here, we have some instructions and something that just fell on the ground. There we go. So we're going to read the instructions here, but I believe there's like a sand, buff, and then protect. So we're going to actually read the paper instructions, which there are none. So these are our instructions. So easily remove heavy oxidation, safely remove sanding marks, and then protect. Apply headlight sealant to keep headlights clear for 1 year. So we're going to go ahead and do that right now. We have our drill somewhere. There it is. There we go. So we're going to do that right now. So we have everything out of the box with our Headlight Restoration Kit. Now there's a sanding tool, which basically this is just Velcro. So we're going to sand, and then we're going to go to the polish. And there's actually a polish and buff wheel that goes into the drill. And then we're going to finish it off with the protect. And in this process, there's no actual liquid that goes with the sanding part, but there is a Plastex that is a clear plastic cleaner and polish. So this is for the second step, and then this is the actual headlight sealant and the third step. So to get started with this kit, this actually says, as a side note, it has 1 year of clear headlights per lab test. So we're actually going to see if it lasts a month, 24 hours a day kind of thing in the sunlight on top of the carport here. But to get started, I'm going to work on sanding this down. You can see where the headlight is. You know, there's a good bit of oxidation right here, and then there's some residual around here. But I'm going to just work on, I'm going to start up here. It doesn't really say much about pressure or like, do you use a circular pattern, you know, just details like that. So I'm just going to do a circular pattern, and I'm trying to stay pretty close to the actual tape so we can see the difference when we peel the tape off in a month. And I'm not going to sand any more there because I still see oxidation on there. I'm curious about how deep and how rough you're supposed to like get this down. So there's that. And then you can see how much already came off. I'm gonna come over here and do this. This almost feels like it'd be awesome to have a drill. Actually have a kit that is sandpaper with, you know, in the drill. But boy, this must feel like I need another sanding pad. All right, so that is the fully sanded part of the headlight for the Maguires kit. And let's go ahead and buff. So safely remove sanding marks and restore clarity. All right, so we have the drill. And just as some side commentary, we were going to use the impact cordless unit we have there, and this doesn't have a hex on it, so to speak, for anything to grab on. It's just circular, so the only thing we can use is the actual drill. So we have this in here. Tighten this down. There we go. So real quick with the Headlight Restoration Kit, you want to apply a nickel-sized amount of Maguires Plastex, so this guy here, onto the actual buffing wheel, and then you want to take this wheel and go straight on with it with not a ton of pressure. It says light pressure, medium pressure, but not heavy pressure. So that's probably a little bit more than a nickel. So I'm just going to do this, dab it on here a little bit. And real quick, this is kind of like buffing a car. So if you ever buffed and polished a car with a sander or a buffer, this is pretty much the exact same thing. And real quick, before I wipe that off of here, it actually calls out Remove product immediately before it has a chance to dry with a microfiber towel, and then reapply. So we're gonna go ahead and do that right now, and then probably give it one more shot with the drill here to try to finish polishing this up as much as possible. That's actually really impressive. You can still see there's some oxidation here, but it's much more see-through. So we're gonna go ahead and hit it one more time with the drill here and do a finish, like a final polish. So we wiped these once. We're just gonna give them a quick wipe with some paper towels again. And in the case of the toothpaste, if this was a car, it would have ruined that and had to start all over. But we're gonna go ahead and hit that with some water and rinse it off, and then dry all these with a paper towel. So a quick recap: WD-40, now dried with paper towels. Maguires, we've gone through that. We're steps 2 of the 3 processes through. We're gonna apply some Headlight Sealant with the little pad that came with it. And we have the toothpaste rinsed and the bug spray rinsed, and everything's been dried with paper towels. So the one other step we have to do is just take some of the actual Headlight Sealant and work from the top down. And that might be a little too much. That's probably way too much. But this is actually sealing, it's putting a new coating on here, honestly. The one you just kind of sanded off, or partially sanded off. So I'm gonna flip this over. And the instructions say this should dry to the touch in 15 minutes or so and fully cure in 24 hours. So we're going to let this sit and cure as there's rain on the way in the next 12 to 18 hours, give or take. But we will eventually get these on top of the carport so that we can see what a month in the sun will actually do. But I think that's good. I'm gonna go ahead and do one more pass here and call that good. And I just got some on this side. Clean that up. So we're gonna go ahead and clean all this up. But from here, we're gonna take these headlights and we're gonna put them up there on the carport so that they can bake in the sun for the next 30 days. And we're gonna check in on them weekly, and you're gonna see that here right now. We're gonna pop in once a week and just see what they look like. And we're gonna finish up the video 4 weeks later to see what it actually, like the finished product after short 4 weeks, let alone years and years of baking in the sun, what these things look like. Real quick, we're pulling the tape off of these because this probably isn't gonna last a month in the sun anyway. But look at the difference as you go down this. You can see the stark contrast on both of these. And we're gonna go ahead and get them on top of the carport right now. Checking in week 1 here. These have been out in the sun for a week, and a few precursors here. There's no bulbs in either one of these, so there's a little bit of condensation or dew inside them. But looking at these, if you look here, you can see this is like what it previously looked like. That's where we had the tape from the original when we started here. And with that, the bug spray, the toothpaste here. Obviously, Maguires, the kit that's designed to clean up, bad headlights. This is number 1, but we're really impressed with the WD-40, and we're gonna go ahead and put these back on the carport and give them another week now. Checking in here on our headlights. So we have week 2. I just grabbed them off of Jay's carport here roof. So we have WD-40 right here. We have the Maguires Professional Headlight Restoration Kit here. And then over here we have the toothpaste on this side. And we have the bug spray on the right-hand side. And as a control, you can kind of see the tape line here in the center. Like this is the original right here. And then on this one, the original is right here. So that's after 2 weeks, give or take, of baking in the sun, and I'm gonna go put them right back on the top of the carport right now. So. All right, so checking in here on week 4, and you may notice we have skipped week 3 because honestly we went down the Hot Rod Power Tour in Bristol, Tennessee, and kind of forgot about week 3. So with that, we have Maguires Headlight Restoration Kit here, and we have WD-40 here, and this is our baseline. If you look, you can see where we did nothing here. This is where our tape was, but still looks, you know, fairly clear here. We're starting to see the haze. It's starting to come back here. So there's that headlight. And then this one here, this is our toothpaste right here and our bug spray. And you can't really see it that well, but here's our baseline here. So this one, not, you know, not much success long term, but what we're going to do with both of these is we're going to put them on Jay's carport for the next 2 months. So both of these are going back up here, and then we're going to grab them and give them a total of 3 months to see how they do long term. And we're going to go ahead and put them up there now, and then we'll be right back with the power of magic video editing. We'll be right back in 3 months with the final kind of demonstration of how these DIY fixes work. Okay, so we weren't joking when we said we're putting them on Jay's carport. They're literally going to be up here. Jay's got some awesome solar action over there, just as a side note. So these are on a kind of hot tin roof, so to speak, and with this amount of heat absorption and light just beating down, it may actually mimic more than 3 months. But we're going to give it a total of 3 months, and we're going to come back up here and pull them down, and we'll give you a final look at them. Okay, everybody, you can't see my watch, but it's been 3 months. These went up here right around Memorial Day, give or take. And I'm going to do this. It's pretty hot after about 5 seconds, and you have to stop and think. They've been up for 3 months, direct sun, and it's only about 80 degrees out. These have sat up here through 95 plus degree days in the sun, the wind, and the rain. So very much, probably more than 3 months worth of wear and tear on these, but we're going to pull these down right now. And just as a quick recap, bug spray, toothpaste, WD-40, and then we actually did a Maguires kit that you go buy at the Advanced Auto Parts in this case. So let's pull these down. We'll take a closer look at them right now. We're on the ground here now, and just quick note, it's Labor Day. So we put these up there on Memorial Day. It's Labor Day now. So looking at this, these have seen so much sun and faded so much, you can't even read WD-40. I mean, you can faintly see it there, and I can't even see where we wrote Maguires on here. That's how much sun these things have had over the summer. And you start thinking about that, that's how much sun these DIY hacks and endured. The WD-40 looked pretty good to start off with, and as a baseline, if you look, like there was a strip of tape. We put tape here, and you can see where the tape was. But as a baseline, the WD-40, you know, it's pretty good for a week or two. But after a month, I think it was, you could start seeing it haze over. This is the Maguires kit. And granted, could I have done it better? Sure, you can do everything in life better. But you can see by far this got the best results. But even this, after just 3 months of sun, you can see it's starting to decompose and break down. So that's a professional kit you go to the store and buy. That's what it looks like after 3 months. If you look at, that was the better of the two. If you look at this guy, this one was, again, you can barely read it, bug spray, and I believe this one was toothpaste, if I remember correctly. So this headlight is garbage. You know, this is kind of doesn't look that different than what we took it off the Honda Pilot. And as a baseline, I'm trying to see that we put tape on here, and I can faintly see, but you can't even see where the marker, the baseline was, where we didn't actually do anything to it. That's how, you know, not effective those two DIY hacks were. So wrapping up this video, what you need to do is not try these DIY hacks. 98 Accord, we put these on, what, Jay, a year ago, give or take? These have been on the car for a year. And if you look at these things, they are clear as the day we installed them. And if you use a Maguires kit, I'm not knocking Maguires, there's plenty of other kits, but if you use a professional kit after 3 months or so of just normal sun and heat, this is potentially what it's going to look like. If you take the time to replace your headlamps and actually drop your bumper and pull it off, well worth the time and effort, because your headlights are going to still be perfect a year later and many, many years to come. With that, if you like classic cars, if you like muscle cars, if you like DIY repair, if you like keeping your ride certified fresh, Fresh Vintage is your channel. Please like and subscribe, and thanks for watching.